Welcome to Blessings from the Gods, selections from the Hymns of Orpheus, part 1 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Orpheus was an ancient spiritual master, born in Thrace, a region of northern Greece, and is believed to have been the son of the Thracian king Oeagrus. After his beloved wife Eurydice died in a tragic accident, he devoted his life to spiritual understanding. His spiritual teachings focus on the belief that human souls are divine and immortal, and once these divine souls come down to earth, they become trapped in the cycle of successive rebirths. Therefore, utmost importance is placed on our actions on earth. This belief was upheld by the venerated ancient master, a compassionate vegetarian who taught his followers that refraining from animal people flesh was an essential element for the salvation of humans. Orphism became a religious and spiritual movement that was very prominent in ancient Greece. Many esteemed philosophers were greatly influenced by the teachings, including Pythagoras, Plato, and Empedocles. The enlightened Greek philosopher Plato wrote about the impact of the vegetarian diet on the Orphics, followers of Orphism, in his book Laws.
Men abstained from flesh on the grounds that it was impious to eat it or to stain the altars of the gods with blood. It was a kind of Orphic life, as it was called, that was led by those of our kind who were alive at the time, taking freely of all things that had not life, but abstaining from all that had life.
In addition to being a spiritual master, Orpheus was also a legendary musician and poet. One of his most famous works is the Hymns of Orpheus, where spiritual teachings are set in poetic form. Delightful viewers, it is a pleasure to present to you selections from the Hymns of Orpheus. To Jupiter, King of the gods and God of sky and thunder. O Jupiter, much honored, supremely great, to thee our holy rites we consecrate, our prayers and expiations, King divine, for all things round thy head exalted shine. The earth is thine, and mountains swelling high, the sea profound, and all within the sky. All parent, principle and end of all, whose power almighty shakes this earthly ball. Even nature trembles at thy mighty nod, loud sounding, armed with lightning, thundering God. Source of abundance, purifying King, O various formed, from whom all nature spring. Propitious hear my prayer, give blameless health, with peace divine and necessary wealth. To Juno, Goddess Protector. O royal Juno, of majestic mien, aerial formed, divine, Jupiter's blessed queen. Throned in the bosom of cerulean air, the race of mortals is thy constant care. The cooling gales thy power alone inspires, which nourish life, which every life desires. Mother of clouds and winds, from thee alone, producing all things, mortal life is known. All nature share thy temperament divine, and universal sway alone is thine. With founding blasts of wind, the swelling sea, and rolling rivers roar, when shook by thee. Come, blessed goddess, famed almighty queen, with aspect kind, rejoicing and serene. To Saturn, god of time and harvest. Ethereal Father, mighty Titan, hear, great fire of gods and men, whom all revere, endued with various counsel, pure and strong, to whom perfection and decrease belong. Consumed by thee, all forms that hourly die, by thee restored, their former place apply. The world immense in everlasting chains, strong and ineffable, thy power contains. Father of vast eternity, divine. Almighty Saturn, various speech is thine, blossom of earth and of the starry skies. Obstetric nature, venerable root, from which the various forms of being shoot, no parts peculiar can thy power enclose, diffused through all, from which the world arose. O best of beings, of a subtle mind, propitious here to holy prayers inclined, the sacred rites benevolent attend, and grant a blameless life, a blessed end. To Neptune, god of water, hear, Neptune, ruler of the sea profound, whose liquid grasp begirds the solid ground, who at the bottom of the stormy main, dark and deep-bosomed, hold thy watery reign. Thy hand the brazen trident bears, and ocean's utmost bound thy will reveres. Thee I invoke, whose steeds the foam divide, from whose dark locks the briny waters glide, whose voice loud founding through the roaring deep drives all its billows in a raging heap. When fiercely riding through the turbulent sea, thy hoarse command the trembling waves obey. Earth shaking, dark earth god, the liquid plains fate to thee ordains. Confirm earth spaces, and with prosperous gales waft ships along, and swell the spacious sails. Add gentle peace, and fair-haired health beside, and pour abundance in a blameless tide. To Leucothea, white goddess of the foam, I call Leucothea, of great Cadmus born, and Bacchus' nurse, whom ivy leaves adorn. Here, powerful goddess in the mighty deep, wide and profound, thy rushing doomed to keep. In waves rejoicing, guardian of mankind, for ships from thee alone deliverance find. Amidst the fury of the unstable main, when art no more avail and strength is vain, when rushing billows with tempestuous ire overwhelm the mariner in ruin dire, thou here, with pity touched, his suppliant prayer, resolved his life to succor and despair. Be ever present, goddess, waft ships along with prosperous success, thy mystics through the stormy sea defend, and safe conduct them to their destined end. To Apollo, god of the sun and light, blessed Apollo, come, propitious to my prayer, illustrious power, whom Memphian tribes revere. Far darting, default and divine, power far diffused and course oblique is thine. O Delian king, whose light-producing eye views all within and all beneath the sky, whose locks are gold, whose oracles are sure, who omens good reveal and precepts pure. Hear me entreating for the humankind, hear and be present with benignant mind, for thou survey this boundless ether all, and every part of this terrestrial ball. Abundant, blessed, and thy piercing sight extends beneath the gloomy silent night. Beyond the darkness, starry-eyed profound, the stable roots deep fixed by thee are found. The world's wide bounds, all flourishing are thine, thyself all the source and end divine. 'Tis thine all nature's music to inspire, with various sounding, harmonizing lyre. Now the last string thy tune to sweet accord, divinely warbling now the highest chord. The immortal golden lyre, now touched by thee, responsive yields a Dorian melody. All nature strives to thee their difference owe, and changing seasons from thy music flow. Hence mixed by thee in equal parts advance summer and winter in alternate dance. This claims the highest, that the lowest string, the Dorian measure tunes the lovely spring. Since to thy care the figured sails consigned, which tempts the world with forms of every kind. Hear me, blessed power, and in these rites rejoice, and save thy mystics with a suppliant voice. To Aurora, goddess of dawn, hear me, O goddess, whose emerging ray leads on the broad refulgence of the day. Blushing Aurora, whose celestial light beams on the world with reddening splendors bright. Angel of Titan, whom with constant round thy orient beams recall from night profound. Labor of every kind to lead is thine, of mortal life the minister divine. Mankind in thee eternally delight, and none presumes to shun thy beauteous side. Soon as thy splendors break the bands of rest, and eyes unclosed will pleasant sleep oppressed, men, reptiles, birds, and beasts, with general voice, and all the nations of the deep rejoice. For all the culture of our life is thine. Come, blessed power, and to these rites incline. Thy holy light increase, and unconfined, diffuse its radiance on thy mystic's mind.